What's going on, everybody? I'm going to welcome y'all back to another episode of K9 Talk Podcast. It's your boy DJ.
This your boy JT.
What's happening, sis?
JoJo. Hey, man, appreciate y'all coming back, man. Good to be back with the boys. Man, sitting here, chopping up, talking about dogs, man. JT had the floor for a second, but he got a lot going on in his camp, man. We're going to fill y'all in with that. But at first, man, we got two subjects we're going to speak on. One is something said that hit us too. About a local law that's going on in Georgia right now that's going to kind of maybe affect dog breeders and dog sellers. At the same time, too, before we get on that, I want to ask y'all a question. Something that was brought to me the other day. And I don't know how to word this right. I'm going to throw this out here. What does breeding look like to you? Is it... I've had talk with this one guy where he's on temperament, and their abilities. You know what I mean? Where he's against breeding for color and look. But I'm kind of on the fence with that right there. I kind of believe that breeding started because, especially when you start trying to define a dog by its look. So where does temperament come in and fall off there? You know what I mean? Or what do y'all breed for? So I guess people, like I say, in certain groups, they be like, man, you're supposed to breed for temperament, man, forget color. What does breeding look like to you?
That's
depending on your breed.
Like, depending on what you got going on within your yard. Because, like, everybody's yard is different with, like, their dogs and, like, their bloodlines. Like it's kind of hard because, like, once you see your dogs, acting a certain way, that's when you can correct that. But it's not necessary you have to breed for that. You know what I mean? The temperament should already kind of be good. Especially, it's like Joe about to say, depending on what kind of dogs you're dealing with. Yeah. If you're dealing with hyper dogs, German Shepherds and Persian Canarians, they got drive. The more drive a dog have, the temperament gonna be higher.
Got you. Because where something like a whole different area. I got Maltese at the house, and I got my Americana Depressors. They're two whole different dogs. Where my Americana Depressors, I kind of got to watch them, especially the males and females in certain seasons, because they'll fight to the death. Where my Maltese is not even in their mind, or I can never see a reason where they would do what I see my bigger dogs do.
Right.
So where does that? Where does temperament where you know what I mean? So temperament most dog is it dog related? You know what I mean?
I mean it's
per dog. Per breed. When someone's saying something.
Like I say, don't nobody want an aggressive exotic bully. That ain't what you're going for. Right. They are bred, that's that temperament. They docile, they not, you don't want that. That's a problem. If you got a bully biting people. Like your dogs, you want them to protect, you gotta You want that. If you breed for color, you can take that away. Yeah, that drive. You know what I'm saying? If you trying to make a pink, American Depressor, that's the color is the money side.
Okay, got
that's how I see it. Everybody don't. You'll see just like a fawn color dog, the Frenchies. That's a main color, but everybody's gonna get tired of that. Somebody gonna want that lilac color. That's just.
And it's funny you should say that because I think that's where it falls into a lot where people talk about the temperament breed for color. It's where, okay, if I'm breeding for color and look, then somewhere down the line, I got to have money intention. I'm trying to get rich. But I ask y'all the question is, how was the Rottweiler? How was the Doberman? How are them dogs so deeply defined where, a Rottweiler, they're always going to be black with the the marking points. You know what I mean? At what point were they breeding for a look or with a temperament?
You ain't outcrossing to nothing else though. Like my breed, you got bulldogs. You got several different types of bulldogs. Rottweilers, you got Rottweilers.
But at the same time, though, those are dominant traits too. That black tri is a dominant trait.
But you figure at one time the Rottweiler had to come in black and white, all black, all tan. But they wanted it to be just this color.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it would have took longer if they were like, okay, we're just going to breed the aggressive dogs. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm losing it there, but where is that line really? Because at one time they had to be breeding for looks, just to get that look. You know what I mean? As far as kernel, you know what I mean?
You got to lock the look in. You got to lock the look in. But the same way you got to lock the look in, you got to lock the color in too. So they lock both of them.
But can you lose temperament doing that?
If you, then it depends on what you breed to. You breed to a dog that ain't got that drive or something, not going to temperament you want. Or if you don't want to breed to something that or a line that you know, he's pretty aggressive. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's per breed, and then it can be per dog. But if the breed, like your dogs, if your dogs have that drive, they're gonna be more aggressive.
Every dog ain't gonna have that drive though.
Because like you can get a Belgian Malinois and he ain't that. You know, like what you see jumping off walls and
so that's what I'm saying. It's per breed and per dog. Because not every dog in that breed might not have that drive. It can be lazy as hell.
Yeah.
So way I look at it, and I might be wrong, like how you say with the bullies, a good bully is gonna have a good temperament, friendly with anybody, not aggressive with other dogs. If that's already locked in, then all you really got to worry about is color and structure. Am I right?
You pretty much, whatever structure you going for, because it's variations of.
So in that case, ain't nothing wrong with coming out saying I'm breeding for color.
No. I mean, see, that's where it gets tricky. Because if you breed for color, you outcrossing somewhere. You got to go get it.
It's gonna come with
it's coming with some negativity from some people. Some people don't believe in it, and that's cool, because you need them people to get a standard or something. But shoot, if it's a money thing, then that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You might try to make a pink bullet, but
I breed for structure, but at the same time, if I see a dog with color that I like with structure, then I will breed to that. And that's the thing, you have to do your homework at the end of the day and find out what's gonna fit for your program. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I breed for both.
Because like I can't knock you saying you breeding for structure and then I'm breeding for color. Like who's right? It's just whatever's selling and whatever your program designed around, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. At the end of the day.
And I just look at that, how you just said structure and color, but then you got the other people over here screaming temperament supposed to be first.
And it depends on the breed. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish with that dog. Your dog's supposed to be known as protectors.
What is a definition of temperament?
These dogs supposed to be able to, I guess I get it a lot when you're talking about working class dogs. They're supposed to be able to work. They're supposed to be aggressive. They're supposed to be able to do the work a dog does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that take training. To me, that's more so training.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you said that because I've been seeing them lately, some trainers out here, and a lot of times it's kind of joking wise, but I've seen one that was a French bulldog and another a Chihuahua. They were doing bite work.
Yep.
And these dogs were getting to it.
Yep.
So a lot of times it's really like you say, it's that work.
So you can train a dog to do everything. Yeah, you can train a bullet to bite somebody.
And so check this out. That same Frenchie that's doing that kind of work and that kind of drive, his puppy's gonna have that.
Yeah.
So that's that guy programmed for his temperament, that drive.
Okay.
I don't want that. Yeah. I want my dogs to be laid back. So, see what I'm saying? He got his program where his dog got a high temperament. They drive, they biting, non-stop working.
Now that don't mean that guy's litter or puppies is gonna have. It might be instilled in him.
It's in him. Yeah, it's possible you can have.
They don't have to do bite work.
Yeah.
They can still be companions and all that too, though.
And then another thing, it goes back to the owner of the dogs, right? Because if you're not the type of guy that's gonna work your dog, then possibly the dog will be lazy.
Ain't no need of you even thinking he gonna do that. Even with a pit bull, you ain't doing nothing with him, man. He ain't gonna.
I guess it's all different because then I hear what y'all saying, but then you go, okay, well then the Malinois. Why even if you're trying to be chill, that dog is not in his nature to be chill. So like how you was kind of saying, sometimes it's just gonna be in the blood no matter what.
That's the
Yeah,
breed.
so you
though.
gotta
That's
know
a
your breed, yeah.
That's a high strong.
Yeah, you know your breed.
So that ain't
Like
even
breed.
okay. So you would so the Malinois, you wouldn't call that a temperament or a bit. That's just that breed
That's
type.
that breed. Those breeds are
Active
high
dog,
strong.
yeah.
They are.
So there ain't no chill Malinois.
No,
yeah.
if you
No.
I ain't gonna say that. I don't know that.
I've never seen one. I swear, my dad used to breed.
Yeah.
And the 2, 3 that he had
Yeah.
on the yard, I swear to God, they would bounce off. They would be in the pins and they would bounce all day long, all day long. One, they hit one fence, go to the other. Hit one fence, go to the other. Back and forth, all night long, all day long. Just wanted to get out and work. Yeah, that's it. That's all they did.
Yeah.
And I guess it comes down to how y'all saying it. It's all about the breed type and what you want to do. Because it's like you said with the Malinois, and then you go back to the pit bull. If it's in their blood, if they've been bred for that, that's just what they're going to do. You know what I mean? That's just what they're going to do.
I said you might have like you were saying earlier. You know, not all of them that little might not be like that.
Yeah,
But at least got
it's
there.
there, you know?
It's
Yeah,
there. It's
yeah,
in
yeah,
them.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's like you can go through a litter of Frenchies, right? You can work with. You got 4 puppies. One of them might just be able to stack. You know, when it's just got that natural stack. One of them might be floppy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just up to that breeder to go through and pick and choose. Like, okay, yeah, I see that's the one right there.
Yeah.
You know, I can work with this one. I can show this one, this, that, and the third. This one right here gonna be more of a companion type. You know.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that the things you see throughout generations.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, because they even act the same. Some
The
of
consistency.
some of my boys
of
puppies
the
act
behavior.
exactly like he does. You know, they get to you, just roll over, way to get. You know, it's just a little. If you watch your program, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
They do all of the, you know, some of the same exact things, and and I ain't had nothing to do with them. You know, it's just in them. Whatever's in them is in them.
I got
You know.
Gigi grandma. Okay, Gigi great grandma. Every time, like when you get close to her, she have a happy feet. She be like this right here. That's Gigi great grandma. It don't pass down to Gigi grandma, Gigi mama. Gigi does it. Now Gigi daughter does it. It's like this. Only the girls do it.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
Wagging the tail.
Yeah, both of them, they just like this non-stop. The boys don't do that.
Yeah.
The girls, they do that. From that bloodline.
Yep. And it's just paying attention to it. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There ain't nothing that you bred for.
Nah.
But
that character.
Yeah.
I see it in my dogs too. I see exactly.
Just the way they even move is crazy because it's like, you know, it's a reason you look like your daddy, but like to act like him, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
This is just in them.
yeah.
Well, the shift gears. Said, how about you all start off? Tell us a little bit about that story down in Georgia, and we'll tie it into what they talking about doing in South Carolina. But why don't you share that with everybody?
Oh, so basically they talking about making it illegal to sell like animals at any public or commercial space. So, you know, at your flea markets, you know, you might run up on a couple people that's selling pit bulls or labradoodles or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be illegal. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but just in public places. So I'm not 100% sure. I got to read up on it a little bit more, but I'm not sure if they're talking about in your local pet malls or anything like that. But I do know that they don't pass that bill, so it's out there now. It's out there, and I mean, eventually it's going to end up hitting South Carolina, North Carolina. You know, if it's gonna hit Georgia, it's been spread. Sure.
And that's the crazy thing about with this dog world, man, because it don't matter what you're doing, you never please everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it seems like the more I don't get political with it.
Go ahead. That's exactly what it is.
Man. Some people got a problem with everything. Some people do, but if you really look at who the offenders are, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I don't even. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, and I kind of understand it in a way, man, because there is some. I done seen some bad programs out here, not personally, but just from who done got caught in the news and what they done showed. But
well, I think from this standpoint that they trying to, I think from what I read from the little article that I did read, it's more so they trying to protect the animals and protect the. So say, for instance, the dogs, the overflow of the dogs coming into the humane societies and animals.
That's a big thing right there.
So they feel like by capping that and stopping the breeding at the the local flea markets and all this and third, that it kind of put a little temporary band-aid on it. But at the same time, I don't think it's gonna stop anything.
No, because people been breeding dogs for forever.
Right.
But my thing is, like, people buying the dogs and not keeping them. Like, if they buy it from anywhere, that can be any breed, and don't get the dog if you don't plan on keeping it, and you're just gonna send it to the dog. If you're not a breeder, of course, and it's a lot of people that say they breed dogs, but if you buying a dog and 6 months down the line, well, it's too much to take care of. Now it's at the shelter. That, I mean, how you even stop people from? You got to stop people from buying dogs.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all.
Buying pets.
This is kind of gonna be a controversial.
But I think that's what they're trying to do.
Do y'all think we're too big on trying to save dogs?
Too big on trying to save dogs.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, at some point, you know what I mean? Like, we don't mind cows, pigs going to the slaughter. And I understand dogs and the closeness they have with us. But at some point, if this dog right here is coming from a dog that mother and father was on the street, this dog it ain't even like y'all took it from a home. This dog been living on the street for a while and it got pregnant by another street dog and had puppies. At what point do we stop trying to save them dogs right there? Or do y'all feel there's a need for every dog?
Well, they can say it's an overflow, but what they gonna do with them? They gonna put them to sleep.
Oh, I'm right there. Like, yeah, you're right. Let's get rid of the mixed population. That's what the shit that's going on there, just running around in the street.
Because we killed the feral hogs. Like, at what point do we not get rid of the feral hogs?
But we eating the hogs, though.
Nah, some of them hogs and stuff.
But they overpopulate.
At the end of the day, people, Americans, and I'm not even going to get a race. I'm saying Americans. Boy, listen, we done killed off a few groups of animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we eat.
No. I remember about 2-3 years ago, they gave out like a whole bunch of tags for wolves, like in Wyoming or something like that. Like, I guess the wolf population that overgrew. Mm-hmm. So I can't remember the thousand numbers, you know what I mean? But they just upped the amount of kids. I guess they allowed so many wolves.
Yeah, because the wolves are populating.
So overpopulating.
Y'all read this story.
Like, why couldn't they overpopulate? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got to think you got a wolf overpopulation.
A dog overpopulation was not even kids.
You know what I'm saying?
A dog population was not even kids.
That's true.
But that's just a funny fact where, because like I say, we have feelings for a lot of different animals. Don't mind, foxes and coyotes getting killed. And we know they're a nuisance, but understand dogs can be a nuisance too. The only reason we're not because we as men, got dominion over them.
That's
and we control them.
Yeah.
But we let dogs let them out northwest or out in the southwest somewhere where it's got free land. Man, send about 100 dogs out there in about 5 years. Come out there and see what you're going to do with that population. I promise you they'll be wild.
Yeah.
It won't take long. It won't take long.
It's an emotional connection with dogs. Like I wish you could go out here and kill the feral cats. I wish you could pop them, but guess what? That's against the law. You can't just go, and they carry plenty of disease.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
You want to be canceled for saying that.
I like cats. I don't like the cats that's outdoors running. That's like unvaccinated. Just like a stray dog that's unvaccinated, or you don't know what that dog could carry to your yard. No,
but they'll save that and bring it somewhere and fix it up.
You know what they say about cats? Like they say, if you give them you see antifreeze out of the bowl, they'll let them
I know how to get rid of it.
You know about that?
I know how to get rid of it.
They say I ain't say not to do that, but they say I I ain't saying don't.
And I like cats. I don't have a problem with it.
out here.
But feral cats, guess what, man? I go to the pharmacy or whatever. It's an area over there, man. You might see 50 damn cats congregating right there.
Them old ladies bring that little, they open them cans.
Man, like, it's, yeah, like, I mean,
bring the milk and shit.
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, that is a good thing.
I mean,
for pets, for dogs, it's mixed. And, you know, it's tough, but
because they talk about all this money and people going down there donating dog food for, like you say, I mean, heavily mixed dogs. You can't even halfway tell what they're mixed with.
No.
And maybe even might be 1 or 2 generations almost feral. Right, you know what I mean? And then even some will be having complications. They still go as far as putting on medicine, still trying to, you know what I mean, find a home for his dog. At what point is it like,
I thought they kept
we're making on,
I thought they kept them and euthanized them. I mean,
Nah.
the way it's looking at, they
I mean, sitting there waiting on the doctor, man.
all these places filled up. They can't be euthanized too much.
Nah, only ones they euthanize is pit bulls.
Anything
aggressive.
Well, it shouldn't be just pit bull. Cause guess what? You ain't gonna see a bully in the wild, just straight. They either got lost or something. You see a bully as a straight, he gonna die soon. Cause
most of the pit bulls that somebody come get them.
A bullet not gonna make it in the wild. So that guess what? This little damn Yorkie or whatever the hell mixed breed or whatever.
The thing, you ain't gonna find them breeds like ours in there. That part too.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
I've heard that the Frenchie, especially like the Frenchie, the population.
Okay,
in the shelters is growing. Yeah. But I like, are you keeping them for a while and euthanize them? Or if you're gonna keep them, guess what? It's gonna cost you money. Just like a breeder. You're keeping dogs, it's gonna cost you money.
Yeah.
Now the people that want to start breeding, if you ain't got 5 years for a dog, because you could be sitting on this dog for 5, you know. And I say 5 years, but that's how long you got to dedicate.
I think really the bigger question or the bigger thing is what is causing those dogs to turn up there. You know,
it's the people buying them.
People buying them. That's it.
Yeah.
So then now we got to screen those individuals that's buying these dogs.
But this is what I'm saying. If we was to one day, or even today, or any day, go down to the SPCA animal shelter. 90% of what you see in there ain't gonna look like nothing nobody sold to nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this shit's gonna look like nothing.
Well, I will.
You know what I mean? Unless it's older. But like I say that either. If it's a litter of puppies, they gonna look like who and what did it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. If it's a litter of puppies, like you say, you might have an older 1 or 2 dogs. Okay, yeah, they got some Mastiff in it. That's some bully. That's some pit bull. That might be a French. But for the most part, 85% of them dogs is gonna look like who and what did it. Ain't no way nobody paid $25 for these dogs.
Then you can say that's where these regulations coming in.
And to go back to that, is that
yeah?
Is that gonna help? Is that gonna hurt? How's that gonna affect y'all?
It would hurt the ones that just ain't in a place to do all this inspections, and the small man gonna have to will leave. He's gonna have to leave the game because you sitting here and I might have 60,000. Well, I done bought six badass dogs, and you telling me I can't breed with 2 twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Are you talking about South Carolina?
That's from what I've seen. I don't know.
That's the South Carolina one.
Yeah.
That ain't the Georgia one. That's the South Carolina one where they talking about the bill.
Just because you see, Georgia, everything Georgia doing, South Carolina gonna try to do. Yeah. So that's
because what Georgia talking about is selling in public places.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna affect none of us because you ain't gonna see none of us at no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's still that's the small man. That might be. I know people made plenty of money at the flea market selling animals.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You gonna stop them from selling chickens and everything? I mean,
I think all of it. Every
that's crazy because some people go to the jockey like to look for their animal. You know. Now you in a safe place, but now you gotta go to somebody's house that you don't know. You might know them if you dealt with them before. Yeah. Now you got random people coming and go, or you having to go to random people's house to find a pet.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a gift for some people, a curse.
Gift and a curse.
Because I'm sitting here looking at it where in the bigger picture, if you really into breeding your dogs, it's not gonna be a problem for you. If you're serious about what you're doing, it's not gonna be a problem. It's almost gonna help you in a way because it's gonna cut out a lot of the competition. But if you're not,
well, I ain't gonna say cut out a lot of competition. Cut out the lower.
Yeah.
I think even some of the bigger ones ain't gonna be around. You know what I mean? Well, I put it like this: everybody's competition, no matter where you at. If you sell a $5,000 dog and somebody's over here selling for $500, that's your competition.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if there wasn't no $500 dog, people would be like, okay, I gotta get my money at $5,000 dog.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it'll go
underground.
It'll go underground. Just like breeding pits, breeding anything in history. It'll go on. You gotta.
But I think it's gonna drive the market up because it's gonna make it kind of exclusive for people who got good dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People gonna start telling.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. If I know I got this program over here, you over here bullshitting. Hey man, listen.
Get your body there.
Listen.
They don't have to
slide on through there, man. Boy, he got about 6 of them in his backyard. I know he ain't got the paperwork. It's gonna be, but you know it's you gonna have to be. Because that's your competitor, but think about the average mom and pops, the Karens and the Joes. You know what I mean? That they've been hating your dogs barking. Now they know about this law and they done already told out like, yeah, give us a call if you ever see anybody. Yeah, you know, if you see a dog on chain or on a fence. Oh, people gonna use that, right? Yeah.
All I gotta say is the vets need to be supporting the breeders because we putting the money in the vet. Especially since Bullets and Frenchies came around, these vets are booming. How many times you go to a vet think about C-sections and
they ain't gonna do no more raise their prices, man. The vets got the game on lock.
But you ain't getting, but you go from 100 litters a year to 20. Somebody ain't gonna like that.
Gonna go up.
The vets win more than the hospital. They get their money.
But that's what I'm saying. You need to be supporting the small breeders. That's the ones that's coming to you. You know.
Yeah.
Because that's where the money coming from.
That's true. That is true.
C-section used to be what, 600? Yeah, 1,200, 1,700.
All the vets, the main ones down there signing them laws, get y'all backyard breeders.
I don't think it's. Now maybe not the ones that don't go to the vet, but the vet making the money.
The vets got them. They
all depends what their market is too.
Money.
I'm gonna say it's like the registers like AKC. It's probably AKC back. You know what I'm saying? Something like because you don't need them no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can register your Frenchie with ABR. You can register. You know
they ain't gonna go against it because they know it's too much small underground breeders that bring them too much money.
Yeah.
Way too much money because a lot of people don't want to deal with this, deal with that, don't know how to do this. Man, they're making a killing, man. They're getting cash.
Go to the emergency room, get an aspirin, $7-8. Go to the vet and need a damn couple of antibiotic pills. That's $120 a pill.
Yeah.
For a 10-day supply of antibiotics.
Like when Gucci had the ear infection. And so I had to take him to the vet and they were like, we got to perform emergency surgery and shit, like, because the shit was leaking inside his ear. Shit, that was like $700 something. Oh, check this out. Off the rip. No payment plan. No. See, I used to get away with they say, bill me later. I used to
they ain't even got that ball.
No. Listen, before they start, they got to have their money.
But you know that wings a lot of the people out because all money ain't good money. So if you ain't got that money, then you know you out the door.
Dog dead in the motherfucker.
It'll be a gift and a curse. You do need to be. You got to have some kind of standard. You got because some of this stuff is a mess. I ain't gonna lie. It's a mess. You know.
I just hated all the snitching and.
That's what's gonna happen though.
Bad game. There's gonna be some hurt souls.
Yeah, because it's gonna be some put like this. I like I said, I ain't seen nothing in that as far as what the fines gonna be. Yeah. But it's gonna be some fines.
Oh yeah. They ain't playing with these animals no more. You see a lot. And then in South Carolina, there's been a couple big dog fighting rings that have been knocked off lately. But they ain't playing about these dogs no more, man. At all. They ain't been playing about them.
South Carolina play about them dogs.
Like I said, they know, hey, all they got to do is take your dog, house it. They gonna get donations. What's a win-win? And you gonna pay a fine.
But you know, dog, it's like
and you ain't getting your dog back.
But you know what, dog? also too is like it's about your location. Because if you know you're in the kind of business with dealing dogs, you don't want to be around people. So you might want to pick out to live in the country or something like that.
Yeah.
If you do that, then you pretty much
To do what you want.
you do what you want to. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's where it comes in having that
Yeah.
clientele, that social media presence where, you know, at the end of the day, people looking for you. You looking for them, and as long as your program's set up, I ain't worried about all the other stuff, man.
Yeah, because that's the thing. People go find you.
Yeah.
If you got some good looking dogs and if they want it, they go find it.
They ain't gonna care about none of that other stuff.
Nah, they ain't gonna get none of that.
I'm coming. I want one of your dogs. I see what they do.
Yeah. Nah,
That's right.
That's facts.
They will find you.
But with South Carolina, you know, they're talking about, like you was talking about earlier, about you gotta have a license, a breeder license. You know, I ain't really too fond on it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Is it gonna be?
You know how I would do? Come to my house and buy a shirt, get a free puppy.
How much that shit gonna cost?
$25 gonna cost you $3,000.
And I'm gonna sign it and give you, and I'm gonna give you some paperwork with it, registration papers.
Everybody know the game. Shit, it's ways around everything.
There's ways around it. Listen, we'll be across the Georgia line. Listen, somewhere in North Carolina.
But you know what? They do that at like PetSmart. They have like the iguanas. No, not iguanas, but the ferrets.
Yeah.
They can't sell the ferrets, so they sell the cage.
Oh wow.
Oh, you get a ferret.
Yeah.
That's
That's how you gotta do that thing, man. Like I said, there's gonna be ways around the system, man. I ain't gonna give them no game to listen. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, boy. Listen, I ain't let them stop me, man. Like I said, I go through the way if I gotta do my paperwork, my dog's tested, health tested. I don't mind doing all that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like you say, it's gonna help because now there's gonna be a rarity. Now I gotta go through all this. Oh yeah. Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what they mainly got. I don't know so much the help. Well, yeah, but it's the motherfucking rabies shot.
Yeah.
If your dogs don't got rabies shots, man, that's when shit be getting real.
The heartworm testing.
Yeah.
A lot of people end up on. You know what I mean? When you, man, that's the first thing when you go to a vet, you get a heartworm medicine. A lot of motherfuckers ain't doing that shit.
But you know, most dogs don't help.
But they try to get you, they pushing on you, man.
Yeah.
I believe that too.
Yeah.
But
Most dogs don't have that heartworm. Be honest with you.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be big in outside dogs, mosquitoes, and you know what I'm saying. That's a big thing for outside.
But shit.
But I haven't heard of a lot of dogs having it.
Heartworm medicine.
Yeah. I just know every time you go to PetSmart or anything like that, that's the first thing they be, is he on the regular? And then the way I hear, once they get it on you, they want to try to like every 3 to 6 months. They want to coming back and on a regular regimen. And
It's crazy because, like you said, the dogs in the hood, they don't be having that heartworm and shit.
Yeah,
60,
50, 30.
Hey,
They old longer than
and then that run your ass down.
Yeah.
5 years old eating goddamn bullshit out of trash can. Got to run your ass down the bite.
That good leftover spaghetti and shit. Good cayenne peppers and spices.
Eating good.
Listen.
Eating good. All kind of worms.
And then
Hey, listen.
they bring it at you.
Hey, I was cleaning out the refrigerator last night. Boy, I see some old leftover, 2 hamburgers and some fries. I said, man, ain't nobody eating it. I threw them fries away, gave them dog hamburgers to my dog. Man, listen. Dog eating good, man.
Yeah.
Better than some people.
Yeah, so old. You say you getting old, sir?
A couple days. It look like they might have been in that refrigerator about a week. Like I said, a couple days at least. I was like, man, ain't nobody coming back to eat that hamburger and fries.
Good,
though. For them, this dog was looking up at me. Oh, man, listen, they blessings from above. Listen, you talking shit when them dogs waiting for me to come back.
What?
Oh, hamburger.
Bring some more,
What were they talking about?
Yeah.
I can't I'm gonna tell you what's crazy because I see you can feed your dogs together. Mine's
I done stopped that shit a little bit.
they be scrapping.
I can feed it. I done stopped letting my 2 boys, man. My 2 oldest boys, it's over with. Boy, listen. Boy, they got into it just again yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday got into it again. Boy, listen. Damn near man, leaking. Yard leaking. And then I'm trying to break them two up. The two girls get to fighting. Man, it's over for them two boys right there. I just came to the fact where they just ain't getting along. I ain't trying to make them get along. You know what I mean? And then I kind of see what it was because, you know, the dad, he's my inside dog. You know what I mean? So my son, he's in the yard most of the time. He kind of feels like that's his domain. So the dad comes out there. And this is what I noticed it was like the fight the other day. Son shot out the cage, man. It was my fault. Shot out the cage. He just in the middle of the yard. The dad run up on him, trying to mount him like a little bitch.
Mm-hmm. Show the dominance.
Man, yeah, trying to show the dominance. You know what I mean? Boy, it was over. Boy, that son looked like what?
Start going there.
It was over with, man. I'm like, no. Then the two girls they hit. I'm like, come on, man.
And it's a thing, man. When one dog fight,
yeah,
all the dogs fight.
Then the younger ones, like they jumping in, but they they just hitting anybody. They don't care who they hit. Like they might be hitting the winner, then they might start biting the loser. I'm like, look at this shit here, man. It's just like, listen. So I'm to the point that listen, and I was looking at some videos of the day, some older ones, but I was like, damn, it used to be good on my yard. That shit over with, man.
So like when do it come to a time where you like, okay.
Like once them dogs get over 2.5, because like I say, the son, he just hit 2.5 years old. Like I say, at 2, I kind of noticed him changing. You know, he wasn't bound down as much. But the Mastiff at 2.5, oh yeah, nah, ain't no bound down no more.
When do it come to that time though? You make that call, like, man, look, I can't keep separating these two. One of them got to go.
Nah, they just gonna be separated. I got enough
from here on out.
Yeah, they ain't gotta interact. No, most people, how you have a pit bull yard with 100 dogs that never interact? I just got 2. You know what I mean? Like it's not as bad as you might think. It's just hell. Like I say, the inside dog, I let him out sometime. The other one be in the cage. I let the other one in the house. He come out. He hit the, you know what I mean? He hit the yard, or you know what I mean? Vice versa. I might have one out, one in the cage, or I might have both of them out. But see, I got chains on my yard too, so I might just have them both out, but they're on the chains on each side of the yard. You know what I mean? So,
but you're the only 2 males you got, right?
No, I got another one. They're brothers too. You know what I mean? So that's the father, son, and I got one of their brothers. You know what I mean? But he ain't even 2 years old.
So basically, basically said gonna get around to it is have you map out a plan like how you gonna weave them out in the future. You mean because you got like most people with the yards, they got like me. I got Gucci. He's not going nowhere. His son, he'll go somewhere, but not Gucci.
Oh, nah, neither one of them going nowhere.
But eventually,
they're never going nowhere. They dying on my yard.
What about the other ones though?
Everything on my yard dying on my yard.
So you gonna keep?
Because see, my future wise is I'm hoping, but see, I'm thinking bigger. By next year, I'm hoping to get some more land. I'm trying to get a couple acres where I can pretty much have my dog pretty much. You know, you might have this 1/8 over here. I might have you cut off this 1/8 over here. You know what I mean? Different parts. So, like I say, I don't mind having different dogs because I don't believe you can have really a true aggressive dog program, you know, dogs that's supposed to be, you know what I mean, protecting dogs with males that all get along. Like if you got a whole bunch of intact males, 10 of them, they all flopping, like it goes back to that temperament. Like, nah, it ain't in them. Ain't no way.
But it's the kicker though.
Ain't no way. I don't even believe you can be that good of a trainer.
Nah, it's not even that. It's born in them, and they got this thing where they call turn on.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, your dog is humble. You throw a chicken bone out there. That one particular dog bite that dog hard. Instant, that dog going to fight in more aggressive mode. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
so like, yeah, they can be calm, but it's in them to turn on in the minute.
Yeah. And like I say, sometimes they can be out there chill, but it take one of them, they might run into each other, and then it's on their pop because it's not like a pit bull thing where like they're just aggressive. They want to get to each other. It's a respect thing with my dogs. You know what I mean? So one of them want to be that hierarchy, one of them want to be that alpha. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes into where it's not the aggression where people think of like two pit bulls, where it ain't even the alpha thing. It's just I want your ass dead. You know what I mean? My dogs are not like that. It's more like a
Dominance,
respect.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when the dad ran up on the son and mounted, if that son would have did like he used to do, fell over and just gave his stomach up, would have been no issue. But now he turned around like, oh no. You know what I mean? And he got to working. You know what I mean? So it's just, at the end of the day, it's kind of like some people be like, you can't control your dog. That's not in me to control. Once I start controlling that, I believe I'll take out what's naturally in them to do.
Yeah.
And then eventually 5-10 generations, I'll have big Maltese. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they all get along. Like everybody's just out here just rumbling together. You know what I mean? But
know what you got going on.
But now, like I say, I hope to grow so they'll have more room. You know what I mean? I might have this one. Like I said, Scoop's always gonna be my inside dog. So with him, and you know, like an inside dog, they don't care too much about being outside. Like he'll go out there as long as I'm out there, but as long as I let him out, shit, 5-10 minutes, he scratching on the door. Like, well, let me back into the AC. You know what I mean? But like I say, so it ain't too much of a problem with them being together like that. But I hope I have enough room where I can keep them separated, keep everything. Because Scoop, my breeder pair. Scoop, he's my breeder. Lucky, I'm still trying to work with that boy.
I ain't trying to have too many males. My one male with females in he completely fucking retarded. So I can imagine you having 3.
But I'll never have no more. I feel like this. One thing I will say, I won't be keeping no more males.
How you build your program?
What's that?
If you're gonna keep breeding, you know you're gonna.
Oh, no, so that's a beautiful thing.
You're gonna have to something.
No,
I mean, unless it die. Hopefully,
I'm locked in with a lot of people. I sold my dogs too, man. Like we'll talk. Like I'll be able next year or two. I'll be able to work. The dog that ain't even on my yard. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's the same blood, right?
Yeah, same blood. You
so when Joe saying sooner or later you got to find somebody with that.
Oh no! Like I said, no. See, I still know with my dogs. The dude who breeds my dog down in Georgia. You know what I mean? Well, my dog's grandfather, he's still down in Georgia, so I can take one of my girls to there.
You can do
great. I can do a great grandfather.
But what you gonna keep out? You gonna want to keep a male off of it if that's what your program on.
No, I ain't got to. I can sell that male and use it later on. All I need is my females in the public. All I need is my female. I'm heavy on the females. As long as I got the females, I can always take them on a trip somewhere, get them locked up. You know what I mean? Bring them back and use what I want. I'm heavy with female.
What if you need to use them on more than once? You gonna keep paying somebody else stuff for you to use?
That's what I'm saying. I'm locked in with my people. That's why. That's another thing too about like how you said we were speaking earlier about your breeding program. Like he got to understand it with who we using. Like real talk. Like the people I'm using, they got to understand it. Like believe me, it ain't gonna be no issue. Like if I'm gonna come up there this weekend. I'm gonna stay a whole weekend in a hotel, man. We're gonna run a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And come on up. You know what I mean? But everybody ain't gonna be that way. But like I say, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? A lot of my businesses is money exchange at the same time too. Friendships involved too. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, shit. I ain't hell no.
I'm trying to be the source of my blood. You know, and I mean, you know, something, man. It's like just using my boy. He got some nice pups out there. I would use them, but I feel like I'm the source though. So, and then when I'm done using him in my program, I'm gonna want to have a son, another one come right behind me, and I want to be the source of that. You know, it don't matter what else he got out there, which I would use some of the dollars he's made, but I mean, I'd rather have my product. You know, I mean, it's my production, but it's their production. However, they either bought the puppy or made it, but I just feel like I need to be the source of it.
Yeah, before we go on too, it's one thing too. When I see that one, you know what I mean? Like I say, I'd say I ain't bringing on the mail, but at the same time too, if these next couple of years, if I see that one, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's the future. Shit gonna change. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's right there. You know, you were thinking a year ago you have two brothers and a sister. part of your program. I'm pretty sure you be like, ain't no way I'm keeping that shit.
That's when it can't go a different direction.
Yeah.
Because when you do a breed and then it reach over your expectations, now your program got to shift towards that. Especially if they have that look and and it's that just like like I was running everything like off Gucci, but at the same time these dogs got the body like Gucci. They shorter and more compact. So Gucci out the picture now. The boys is what I want because running everything off the boys gonna keep everything short. Long as I'm bringing decent females should keep everything short under 15 pounds. So that's the direction I'm going in my camp. So but they come from what we're talking about. That's coming with your program growing and growing. So when we asking you about your males, the only thing, I guess you can keep them, but you ain't gonna be able to breed them. So because you're gonna be dead stuck on your program, you're not gonna grow. With that, you have to have that outcross to grow.
Okay.
Because that outcross gonna create like something different. Because your program scooping everybody tight because you've been breed them. But it's gonna come to a point that you're not gonna be able to breed none of that no more. You're just gonna need an outcross. Yeah. Then you can go back to that.
Exactly.
Down the road.
Down the road. Yeah. So
and that's the beautiful thing about this, man. Especially when you deal with. Because I'm just gonna throw this one out here real quick. Y'all know Onyx. Onyx is Lucky's. Onyx's mom was Lucky's sister. Now the dude who got Onyx's mom up in Spartanburg, he bred Onyx mom to a imported Press Canario. So I got Onyx. So let me see how this sounds. I got Mary J, who is Onyx's aunt. Now what if I go back and take Onyx, get a breeding with Mary J to Onyx's dad, and keep something off there.
Yeah, you can do that.
Now, won't that be a little bit outcrossing at the same time keeping my blood tight and then taking something off Mary J back to Onyx?
No. After you do that breeding with her, she can't go really nothing back in your program. She needs to be outcrossed.
Mary J's.
Yeah, because if not, then it's gonna be like bad flaws gonna start showing. So with that outcross,
He ain't got no flaws.
I ain't got no flaws. I can still work.
But that's how they come.
Okay.
That's how they come.
I ain't got nothing till I got something.
Nah. But the thing is, finding like the way you set your program is, you talking about bringing boom, 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 granddad, uncle, all those. Now, finding your next, like finding your breeding, like you got the female, you want to find the male. It's the exact same way of this man program. Yeah. So when you outcross it, you get the perfect dog. I ain't gonna say all of them, but you'll get what you want.
Genetics won't be too tight.
It won't be too tight. Everything needed a perfect outcross.
I'm gonna sit there. I gotta sit down with a piece of paper and draw everything up. When you start looking at it, you be like, "Damn, hold on, that's an uncle to an aunt over here." Because it can get crazy sometimes, especially if you dealing with tight blood.
Yeah, because you have to remember.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
They ain't related, but nah, she got an uncle over here that is like, God damn. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna write it down, man. Before we go, man, we done ran it up. Well, y'all got anything y'all wanna end it with, man? Anything y'all wanna say to the patrons?
Nah, y'all make sure y'all leave a comment. If y'all want a subject for us to touch on, y'all make sure y'all leave a comment and we'll get to it.
Yeah, man, that's about it. I ain't got nothing to say.
What it do?
I don't know. Let's go buy some dogs. Dog business. Let's go
Buy some dogs, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. We out.